Dabu 7. We have an update on what the truckers are planning to do here in America, as we've seen a couple smaller convoys get up and already go up to support the Canadian convoy. The large one that's supposed to be going from the West Coast all the way out to D.C. has yet to really take off. But now we've got new information, as they're saying that these truckers are organizing, and they're hoping to put together this Canadian-style type freedom convoy to Washington. And they're set to roll on Interstate 40 heading east from Bardstow on February 23rd. A lot of the organizers that are involved in this say that our freedoms can't wait, and that they're not going to wait until March 7th, which was set to be the original date that they were going to head out. They're now moving that up a bit. And this is a national group called the People's Convoy. It's organizing the truckers who will hit the road for the nation's capital to demand that this Emergency Powers Act be lifted, ending mandates and all this other stuff. Now, I've said before, on March 1st, here in this country, the United States, everything is set to end in terms of the mandates unless Biden wants to extend it. So don't fall for some fake movement that comes out here and they make it look like they made the government back down on March 1st, if that happens, because that's not the case. They're already planning to do away with the stuff. And D.C. just came out and said they were dropping mask mandates and everything just 2 days ago. So how things are going to be come March 1st and where the convoy is going to be, yet to be seen. Are they going to shift toward Ottawa? Will they make it to D.C.? All I can say is that I'm going to try to stay on top of this, keep you guys updated with information. We obviously support the truckers and the people out here repping their freedoms all day long, but we do not support individuals coming and hijacking something to the advantage of the government. You understand how that works? Because we've seen it all too many times. So you have to stay sharp out here, guys. Follow me on Twitter and Getter for breaking information, and hit that subscribe button for more. This has been Dabu7. Much love, y'all.
Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, give all praises.
Learn about crypto and get paid.
And honor that's due to Yahweh Bashimi, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel, brother, from the standard of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Hey, real quick, man. This lesson is going to be titled, "You people are under a strong delusion." Okay? What you have to understand about the American empire, or Esau's power structure, is that it's not going to be, it's going to be to no avail. Okay, it's not going to come back, no matter how much you fight for your freedoms, no matter how many stage scenarios or particular heists that this man does to try to bring back sexy, so to speak. It's going to be to no avail, because we're in a time now that Babylon the Great is set to be destroyed. Okay, now we sound like a broken record because we're constantly bringing out the same information, but so be it, because hey, the scriptures say the prophets, we speak the same thing. And ultimately, when you look at the Holy Bible, the prophets oftentimes repeated themselves going into the destruction and the judgment of Babylon the Great. Okay, so you have to be in the know to understand what's what and how things are going to manifest itself. Okay, and this is the reason why we're bringing out this information. Okay, because the Most High is he's not leaving one stone unturned. So therefore, people can't say, well, we didn't know, we didn't expect this. Well, the scriptures is plain. Okay, so, you got guys like Dabu7, which is obviously a blogger, or he's obviously a freedomist, so to speak. He believes in the Constitution, which you Edomites worship the Constitution. But like I said, it's not going to save the good old days of America, because we're in a time now with Esau's demise. Okay, he's had his run and it's come to prominence, and now it's time for it to end. Because when you look at the comment boards in the comment section, you got people, it says people should be scrambling to come together in communities, combine resources and secure water sources and start growing food together. Yeah, in a perfect world, but you have to understand we're living in a world that is founded or flourished by narcissists. Okay, people are only out for themselves, and they get what they get for themselves and themselves only. Because like I said, I'm going to quote The Dark Knight again. The Joker said, when the chips are down, these people will eat each other. He said, these civilized people, he said, they'll eat each other. Okay, and he said it just like that, because that is the case. You know, we bought out that account on several times. So I want to actually look into the article that he put out there going into the People's Convoy from zerohedge.com. With zerohedge.com is a very informative site. In fact, I believe they bring out decent information, more accurate than what you would ever read in the mainstream media, because for one thing, the mainstream media, they'll have what they call media blockouts on certain information. Okay, certain things they just don't want you to know. Okay, so it says American truckers prepared to drive from California to DC in the People's Convoy, which allegedly they're supposed to be lifting the mandates, I believe March 5th or 7th. Okay, so they got shit damn near half the country to drink the juice. So from that point, when people start to really croaking, then they can go to the emergency levels number 3, number 4, and blame the fact that people are dying on another whole thing. Okay, which we understand what that's going to be, because they are looking for a scenario to push in the MOTB structures. Like the elder brother Wakaya Kwam from the UK, he said, people are not subjected to change, man. People are not subjected to change. So therefore, you can't tell people, well, go down there and put a MC in your arm on your forehead. No, it's not going to be like that, especially when things are working the way they are. People, they have credit cards, they have state IDs, they have these particular notion points that they're using to get by everyday life. Okay, like we've been using a social security card for like 60, 70 years, probably a little bit more than that. You know, Slocky if my math is off, but we've been using a state ID 40, 50, 60 years. So people are susceptible to that. So why would they want to go ahead and put something inside them that can track them? Okay, so therefore they have to come up with the perfect scenario that's going to scare the shit out of people, man. Okay, and we getting ready to hit that point, because how else are all hell going to break loose? Okay. So anyway, it says California truckers fed up with federal government's endless emergency powers mandating masks and juice and gearing up for what they hope will become the Canadian-style Freedom Convoy to Washington, D.C. and are set to roll on Interstate 40 East between Barstow on February 23rd. Now, what you can say about this is the fact that this is setting up a division in Babylon. Okay? But like I said, you people are a fucking delusion if you think that you're going to sit up here and bring this country back to its preeminence. It's not going to happen, okay? America is reached its peak and it's done. All right? There's no coming back from this point. It's done and that's it. The Lord said that he set the bounds beyond what he can't go beyond. So Esau Edom is not destined to go beyond than what he's capable. Okay? The Lord have a particular end date for this man, whichever that may be. Lord's will is sooner than we think. And that's the end all be all. All right, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. It says a national group called the People's Convoy is organizing the truckers who will hit the road for National Capital Day to defend or demand the Emergency Powers Act to be lifted, ending mandates, according to Chris Martin, chairman of the American Foundation for Civil Liberties, and a nonprofit that advocates for civil liberties issues, is helping coordinate the truckers' protests. Not only how you're going to get some type of notion through these people, through these tyrannical demons that's in office, these Democrats or Republicans or whoever you want to call them, only how you're going to get some sense to them is if you start cracking heads, man. I mean, that's honestly quiet as kept. In order to get a point across, violence will have to be in the midst. Okay? People are going to have to thrive in violence. I mean, because the scriptures say through violence, the kingdom of heaven is going to be set up. So obviously, in some form or fashion, there's going to be a civil war. Okay, there's no such thing as peaceful protesting when it comes to a government as this. So you can forget about all the protesting and signs. The elites, they don't respect that shit, man. Okay, and they want you to riot. They want that because they need a reason to bring their troops to America, man. Okay, they're gonna have to kill a lot of you in order to get the point and to send the message that they're not playing games and that they're serious about their NWO, man. Okay, so it says, through previous news reports stated the convoy wouldn't depart California until March 7, but organizers now say that the convoy will leave earlier than planned. All right, and these people that have any hopes up for the good old America, man, but hey, this shit is done. You know, hang it up. All right. So anyway, this is the book of Job 5:14. It says, darkness come upon them in the daytime, and at noon they grow as the night. Right, because right now, man, everything seems to be dark and gloomy right now, man. Though they are looking for better days ahead, there's not going to be any better days ahead, man. Okay, because this is not the kingdom of heaven. Like the scripture said, in the kingdom of heaven, 1,000 years is as an eternity to the kingdom of heaven, man. So 1,000 years is gonna be like one day compared to in an eternity that we're going to live out in peace and prosperity. And you will never get that in Babylon the Great, because it is born in wickedness. Okay, darkness comes upon them in the daytime, and at noon they group as in the night. You know, and this also is going into the destruction. And also when Esau Edom is getting ready to fill his NWO, because in his mindset, like it said in Psalm 64, it says they search out a diligent search. In their mindset, they're going to get the new world order pretty much. We're already in it. You know, they just have to push a few buttons and do a few things. And before you know it, hey, we going to have our NWO set up. Okay, that's the plan of Esau, but it's not going to work. So this article here, man, I mean, they can try to do what they're going to do, but regardless, it's going to be some clashing eventually. All right. It says to ensure, matter of fact, it reads here. It says the group said it is calling on the American people to join the call to freedom in the spirit. Our brave and courageous neighbors to the north, our Canadian brothers and sisters who led the charge. So clearly a division, okay, because you got the other so-called Americans, which America is a corporation. They don't really believe in shit. They just believe in doing what they got to do in order to get things back right. But out of all the things, weeks to flatten the curve, all of a sudden people are testing positive for HIV and all this other shit. Okay, you got to understand that, man, this was never meant to go back to what it was. Like, okay, you can forget about 2019. You know, people were begging and praying, and they would do anything to get those days back. But shit, it's a wrap. All right. It says the Freedom Convoy in Canada has captured international attention in the last handful of weeks as hundreds of truckers have parked in protest outside the parliament in Ottawa, the nation's capital, demanding Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resignation and to end the mask and the juice mandates. Okay. It says a map of the convoy's expected route will be posted to the group's website, which a lot of this is set up anyway to bring in civil division. Okay, you got to know when people, you have to know to understand when certain things are being brought out. It's an agenda behind these things. Because let's just say if this gets out of hand, then what they can do, they can say, well, look, this is a hostile crowd. We have to bring in more preventative measures, so to speak. But it says the People's Convoy organizers said on February 16, War Room, streaming a political talk show and podcast hosted by the former Donald Trump advisor, Steve Bannon. Which Trump, man, okay, Trump, that's a whole nother thing. But I think Trump ain't going to make America great again, man. He's set up too. All right, so this is the book of Isaiah 60. Where the hell it go? Isaiah 60. And I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, for behold, the darkness should cover the earth and gross darkness the people. Okay, these people are in utter darkness because either way it go, they're planning on fighting for their so-called freedoms, but they freedoms came with the how can I say it? With the expense of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans being in captivity under Esau Edom. So that's pretty much the expense of their freedom. Slavery, okay? You will call the land of the free the home of the brave based on the slaves you put in captivity, our people, our ancestors. So either way it go, even if you're trying to get away from the tyranny, what about the tyranny that you used to establish America as a corporation or a so-called country? Okay, you did it off the back of Negroes and Latinos and natives. So is that still a fair act to our people? Just because, hey, Jay can appear to have a piece of the pie now? No, it's all led in deception, man, and it's not going to succeed. But it says, but the Lord should arise upon thee, and his glory should be seen upon thee. Right. Okay, because, hey, the only government that's getting ready to be established on the planet Earth is the government of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, period. We don't give a damn what anybody says. The government of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai will reign supreme on the planet Earth, according to the scriptures, man. All right. So this is the book of 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at. I'm in the right chapter. Damn, I just seen it. Might be saved. Yep, this is 2 Thessalonians 2. And I'm going to start on 11. It says, and for this cause the Most High shall send upon them a strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie. Right. Believe a lie, that they can bring back this system, man. Now, this is going into Jake, all right? But as well, these people have been deceived by their own vain opinion because, like I said, in their mindset, they feel that they can bring back the American government. You know, like the scriptures say, come and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay, America is not going to last too much longer. We at the end of this place. That's why it says that they should believe a lie, that they all may be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness, man. Okay, because you're going to have some Jakes that believe in the well-doing of the society. Okay, Jake believing that, oh, well, yeah, we can make America great again, etc. Like you got this nigga by the name of Ben Carson, this Uncle Tom. All right, you got this clown by the name of Quentin Lucas, the mayor of Kansas City, which that dude is an absolute clown, man. All right, I can't stand the sight of that demon, you know, and the Most High is going to destroy him, you know, oppressing Jake like that. But nonetheless, man, it's a done deal, okay? One more precept in the book of Psalms, and I'm going to end it straight to the point. This is the book of Psalms 49, and I'm going to start at verses 11. Matter of fact, let's start at verses 10. It says, for he seeth that the wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave wealth to their others, right? Because once upon a time, this place was set up through a hierarchy of wealth, man. All right, Edomites, lower class Edomites had trust funds for their children. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. Let's make America great again so we could continue to pass our substance down to our ancestors. But they even did a study. They said by the year 2050 or 60, and even possibly before that, that pretty much the Caucasian race will be pretty much eradicated. You know, especially with all this intermingling and marrying and Jake popping and women. Man, Esau, you're really the minority in the planet Earth. All right, it says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and that dwelling places to all generations, and they call their lands after their own name, you know? So that's the mindset. So when you're reading about this convoy shit, hey, it's a fight for the liberties and all this other stuff. I mean, yeah, they can do it. Eventually it will lead to civil war, but regardless of it's not going to amount to anything. It's all going to fall on deaf ears, and it's going to be brought to naught. All right, but anyway, I'm in there giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, shalom and a blah, blah, blah.